17-year-old Sancho Xavier Sierra died. 17-year-old Sancho Xavier Sierra was killed of Pueblo on April 3rd, 2023 at the request of the family. There's a private service and it's going to be viewed on live stream Friday, April 14th, 2023. Here's a picture of Sancho Xavier Sierra. So we can't get James Holmes executed. We can't get that Deering executed. That Shoopers, that King Super Shooter, we can't get him. No capital punishment for him. But we are executing random ass people for no apparent reason. And we're doing it in every major city. Just like homelessness is in every major city. Police brutality is in every major city. And homicides keep on happening in every major city. So R.I.P. R.I.P. to Sancho Xavier Sierra. Looks like a nice guy. What, going to high school? Going to high school and he was going to, go to college? Piss some gangster off, some miserable gangster that had a father that beat the crap out of us or just left him, just abandoned me. He just left us. He just left us, and so to hell with the world. You know, that could be a blessing. He didn't put his dumb bullshit on you. Jesus, did he not say, thank you for forsaking me? God, thank you for forsaking me. Actually, he said, why, God, have you forsaken me? Officers were called to the 1000 block of East 11th Street, 11:45 p.m. Reports of a shooting. They found a man dead, 3 women injured. One of the injured victims had life-threatening injuries. According to the police, the victim who died was a teenager. One of the victims injured was an adult. And at this time of the writing, no arrest had been made. This is according to KKTV Lindsay Grew. But there's only 3 or 4 articles about it. And only one article had a follow-up, and they just said the guy's name. So there's been no more information. 3 weeks ago. So this is what happens in America. Let me tell you about America's institutions, okay? So America's institutions, he probably couldn't even get a bank account. The banks only want you to, bounce checks, and so they, judge you and they look at you, and banks don't give a damn, right? So if he goes into a bank account, can't get a bank account, can't get a post office, right? I mean, he's just a regular guy wanting to, live his life, right? And what's he going to do? Go to college? I mean, I forget what my point was. But I just feel like being a good American citizen, if he had his dog run over and he just stood there like a dumbass, right? The cops don't do shit and the citizens don't do shit. Well, that's an evil society. That's a wicked society. And then once nobody did a damn thing about the wickedness, well then after a couple more wicked things happen, then people just join in with the scapegoating because it's prison rules, right? We don't know how to behave. We don't know how to act. Clearly, somebody doing a, drive-by shooting, somebody's spotlighting you in the middle of the night. Somebody's running over your dog. People are doing drive-by shootings, and you tell the police every bit of this. You tell the courts. You tell the DA. You tell 1 cop, 2 cop. You write up the thing. You tell the world. And nobody does a goddamn thing. Then you have to start to conclude that this is a criminal society. Oh, what I want to do is just talk about America. So let's say the police and the media and justice, okay? So the point of the U.S. Constitution and Colorado Constitution, therefore the government, therefore the police, is to establish justice, also to promote the domestic tranquility, to provide for the common defense, to form a more perfect union, to form a more perfect government. Both of them at the very top of the virtue heap, establish justice, okay? So let's establish justice. My way, Sancho Xavier Sierra is killed. Well, you get everybody in the neighborhood, and here's all the rules of evidence. You can get all the DNA, get all the videotape, get all the eyewitness testimonies and fingerprints, and get all the weapons, a holster, the thermostat. There's qualitative. You can have direct and circumstantial evidence. You can get photographs. Video fluoroscopy, evidence of threats against witness, properly admit evidence of witnesses' fear of retaliation is also properly admitted. Dog tracking evidence is okay, proper, and admissible. Video animation, some experiments, the gang affiliations, A lot of these murders are affiliated with gangs. You have mass shootings and you got, murder suicides and you got just sort of random lone nut shit here and there. But a lot of the murders, a lot of the killings are gang affiliation. Start asking questions. It's, how hard is it just to start calling yourself a Blood or Crypt or MS-13 or something else? And before the gangs, before the white man, before Christopher Columbus, you had tribes all over the place. So maybe gangs around here, because a lot of people seem to be in the gangs around here, is really just them being a part of their own little tribe, and then they're calling their own little tribe some sort of name. And that's different then, isn't it? A gang, when I think of a gang, I think of a criminal organization, a criminal operation. And they don't have to be brilliant. They could be very much unsophisticated assholes, but because they're willing to go into other people's house and, kind of punch other people. And then it's also good to keep, you don't want the Don's face all over the thing, so you just get one of their goons, one of their underlings. And then the person says, well, who did it? Did you see the person? Did he leave his name, huh? No, well then we have no way to follow up on. We don't know. A defendant's own statement is held admissible. So what all did Sancho Xavier Sierra say? What all did Sancho Xavier Sierra say? Everybody should write down every single thing that Sancho Xavier Sierra ever said about the community, about who might be after him, who's bullying him, who did wrong, who did him wrong, who didn't do him wrong, who did him good. We can focus on good too, So his own statement is admissible via Berger Levy 1983, gang affiliation, experiments, video animation, Kelly Blue Book, promissory notes, information on cell phone, Facebook messages, text messages, coroner's report, and death certificates. These are all admissible evidence. You can't have a polygraph test or hypnotic trances or no conjecture, no collateral conjecture evidence, and no voice print analysis and no QEEG testing. 1997 Tran v. Hilburn. No Queg testing, but you can have video fluoroscopy. The chiropractic industry says video fluoroscopy and x-ray. Motion picture of a patient's bones and soft tissues in motion. This is all A-OK. This is good science. 1997 Tran v. Hilburn appeals decision, Colorado. So compile all those evidence. All those are case law, Colorado case law. That's all the evidence that has been admitted into other cases throughout the years. And let's try to find out, if I'm the police officer, if I'm the mayor of Pueblo, well, I want to stop the murders. I want to stop people from killing other fucking people. And a lot of people know about a lot of fucking shit, but when you get the cops involved because they're a bunch of hothead fucking... They're unsophisticated ass, and there could be gang affiliation in them too. So by getting the cops involved, you can make the situation much more worse for yourself. So what we need is cops who are dedicated to a good society, and we need to have presence of justice on the streets. You want people to tell you the truth, but if they tell you the truth, they're a snitch, and then they're going to look bad on the streets. On the streets, it looks, bad if you just stand there and let a person murder your dog and you just call the cops and then the cops don't do shit. Well, it looks like you're a punk-ass bitch. And it looks like you're a punk-ass bitch who's just we're just going to commit crime after crime after crime upon you. But that's bullshit. Because if criminals are criminalizing people, that's the fucking people we need to stop. You know what I don't do on a day-to-day basis? Go and criminalize people, go and hurt people. I'm not a sadist. I'm not sadistic. In fact, I very much want you to succeed and do well. If I can't help you, I'm not going to hurt you. But there's some pieces of shit out here that are just, bullying sons of bitches. Robbing, raping, murdering, not giving a fuck, attacking, putting hands on everybody. Just disgusting, degenerate, criminalizing motherfuckers that just keeps criminalizing and criminalizing and criminalizing. Phil Greeny. Phil Greeny is a criminal who criminalizes over and over and over again. I'd like to live in a world where we're allowed to defend ourselves, where we have each other's backs. So that's what I would like for the Sancho Sierra, for the whole neighborhood, for that household, for the households around there. Bury the hatchet. We need to stop the crimes. We need to stop drive-by shootings. Why would we be shot at? I mean, they're shooting at the thing. Are you affiliated with some gang or something? And it was a teenager. No, I bet it was just something that somebody said. Or it could just be they had a nice car. They could have been the new people in the neighborhood. So they weren't Crips. They were just American citizens. They weren't Nazis. Are you a Nazi? Oh, no? Okay, well then we're going to shoot your house up. So, R.I.P. to Sancho, Xavier, Sierra. Let's see, do I have any more information? There's not much information with this. There was one other thing, so I probably won't be able to. Basically, it just seems like drive-by shooting, 2 people injured, 1 person dead. End of story. So that's what America is. What I was trying to say before. One bad person, person A murders person B. And then America turns their back. The corporation goes there, takes the picture of the dead body. The cops tell the newspaper, hey, here's the dead body. And they go and make their preliminary report. And they kind of look over here. They look over here. They're, you know, they got too many. They're undermanned. They don't have enough time to actually do a good job and make sure that everything's on the up and up. I mean, it's a fucking homicide. If there's one thing, you know what? I was happy that the person who killed Ricky Kaiser, I'm going to talk about that soon. They found the person that killed Ricky Kaiser. So that actually does give me some hope. But what America does typically is Sancho, Xavier, Sierra will just get shot and murdered out of nowhere. America will turn their back. America will either find some excuse to rationalize it, to justify it, and if Sancho, Xavier, Sierra wasn't a bad person, well then shit, we'll, you know, thoughts and prayers. We definitely got to give all the thoughts and prayers that we could possibly give. There was an 81-year-old man that killed his wife and daughter and said that he was actually happy for them because they were in a better place now. Fucking religious people are fucked up. There's a religious fucker. Apparently she had got an abortion or something, maybe the morning after pill, so he killed her 16-year-old because eye for an eye. No, eye for an eye. You killed my baby, I killed yours. You can't tell the difference between the morning after pill and murdering a 16-year-old full-grown human being. You can't tell the difference, you religious fucking piles of shit. Religious pieces of shit. They have to fucking believe in bullshit and illusions and lies. That's why they got to be child abusers. You have to beat up your children to believe in a bunch of bullshit. You have to. If you just sit there and try to convince them that all this shit, fucking angels and God and ghost and Jesus and all that bullshit, they would never fucking believe you. You wouldn't be able to convince anybody of that bullshit if it was just based upon persuasion alone. You got to have violence to back your stupid, ugly ideas. Can't stand religious motherfuckers. I think we should get rid of all the religious institutions, all the religions that's out there except for Judaism. We need to keep the Jews. Be the opposite of Hitler. I think the Jews would actually figure out that religion is bullshit. Give them 10 years or 20 years. Get rid of all the other fucking religion. Get rid of all the Jewish people are funny. Jewish people are interesting. Jewish people have been keeping their own history for a long ass time. So keep the Jewish people. Get rid of all the other religions. What am I saying? What happens in America is a cop will come and give a fucking bullshit report, and then a fucking media guy will come by, take a fucking picture, splash this shit all over the fucking newspapers and say, oh me, oh my, but what the fuck is the cop doing? What the fuck is the newspapers doing? Newspapers are trying to make some money for their advertisers, so they want eyeballs. They just want these fucking gory stories, so you'll pick up the newspaper and then eventually look at the advertisers and then go shop with the advertisers. So that's the point of the corporate media. It's a business. So they're taking pictures of dead bodies not to solve the crimes, but to sell newspapers. The police, they should be solving the crimes, but they're incompetent. You have to be the friend of a police officer for them to actually give a damn. They'll show up to the damn scene, and let's just give them, you know, the most generous interpretation. They show up to the scene, and they're just a bunch of lazy piles of shit. They don't look at this, they don't look at that, they don't know the person, and then heck, maybe the person's like a meth head or something, so the guy had a bad reputation, and it's like, I gotta do all this work for this piece of crap here, and you don't really care, you don't really try. You got like 3 or 4 other important cases you're working on, so you go through the motions, the peremptory, sort of, you know, maybe dust for a printer here, take a picture there, here, and file some shit in the files, and then just move on, you know. Cops didn't give a shit. My God, I can't get the cops in Costilla County to fucking give a shit whatsoever. One of their buddies killed my fucking dog, and they've been covering this shit up they've been covering all the fucking crimes up. So if a person who's living can't get police officers to stop crimes, I just can't see a police officer actually Like I said, Ricky Kaiser, but I'm shocked by that because it's like, what? The police actually caught a murder? Because there's like 50, 100 murders that happen like every year in every city. So the cops go there and they just kind of do a bullshit report. The fucking media gets there. They do a fucking report just to sell newspapers. Who actually finds the killer? Who actually establishes justice? Who actually makes sure that America is working, that our institutions are functioning? That's not murder. I mean, I'm pretty sure. I read that. I know that's in Colorado law. There's like, you can't vehicular murder and you can't negligent murder, no first degree, you can't deliberately, and you can't knowingly murder, you can't do first degree, second degree, third degree. There's like all these different, but I guess the person that was pulling the trigger on this family, we'll just assume a poor family, they just fucking, they looked at some piece of shit gangster and the gangster got mad, so they was going to show the poor family what's up. Or the poor family called the cops and they got their fucking gang member locked up. And so this is retaliation on citizens for standing up for what's right. So some hothead piece of shit just wants to go around and terrorize the fucking neighborhood. I mean, he's winning. That fucking person who murdered. They had an article. Okay, I have one more. Let's see, Fox 21, KRDO. TikTok? Is he on TikTok? I mean, he was young, so he probably was on TikTok, right? So, victim of 11th Street shooting, Pueblo identified. 1145, Pueblo Police Department, 1000 block, East 11th Street. Why don't you just tell me one person's name? Oh, that's where Sarah Bob lives. Oh, Sarah Bob lives over there. Sarah Bob and Bill McGee. And we suspect that it was just a total random shooting. No, they had knowledge of it. No, it seems to be connected to Sancho, Xavier, Sierra. He's a good kid, loved Elvis, loved horses, loved his mama, and he filed a report against the gangster who was bullying him, and then the gangster shot up his family. He tried to do good, he tried to do right, and now look at all the terrible things that has happened. Because our system is broken, because the cops don't actually catch the criminals, and the cops allow criminals to criminalize and just keep on criminalizing and criminalizing and criminalizing till the live long day. I've never had a police officer actually come up to the scene. Hey, officer, that person just robbed me, and you need to go get him. I've never had a criminal who criminalized me, and then I call the police, and they catch that criminal. That has never happened. The police has never caught a person who has criminalized me ever in my fucking life. So, it's interesting how some people in America seem to think that they got police protection. I don't feel like I got any fucking police protection. And then you're Caucasian and male, so you're the privilege, you're the one that's got all. If I'm the one that has all the power, then nobody has any power at all. These stupid ass bastards are just going around hurting whoever the fuck they want to hurt. Then the fucking machine, they're a bunch of eggheads, so they're not arresting anybody, and they're just rubber stamping whatever the fuck their goddamn fucking bouncer, their fucking, their dull-witted, unsophisticated fucking cops are going around beating up on people. Well, we need them to, get the body and put the body in the jail, and then we can judge the body. It's easy to arrest Anne Frank because Anne Frank isn't going to resist, right? Is that the point, though? If a person doesn't resist, then the hell with them. Anne Frank deserves a concentration camp. Anne Frank deserves syphilis. Anne Frank deserves to die before she turns 20 years of age. Well, the Nazis came in and they didn't resist. You people are fucking sick. I think it's good to have morality. I think it's good to be good. I think it's good to have a philosophy of goodness. It's good to be neighborly. It's good to do unto others as you'd have them do unto you. It's good to be good. God damn. So, R.I.P. to Sancho, Xavier, Sierra. One real quick list of evidence. You can't admit promissory notes, text messages, Facebook messages, cell phone messages, or info on cell phone. Kelly Blue Book, Coroner's Report. These are all good pieces of evidence for a Colorado court. Defendant's own statement is held admissible. Berger, Levy, 1983. Gang affiliation. Some experiments, video animation of a shaken baby syndrome, dog tracking evidence is okay. Evidence of witnesses' fear of retaliation, evidence of threats against a witness is properly admitted. Eyewitness testimonies. The entire Colorado court is about eyewitness testimonies. It's all about the witnesses. Video fluoroscopy, chiropractic X-ray motion picture of patient's bones, soft tissues in motion. 1997 Tran v. Hilburn appeals. Photographs okay. 2015 McClellan appeals okay. Photographs. Circumstantial evidence is okay. Direct evidence is okay. 3 weapons in a holster is okay. Thermostat is okay. Fingerprints is okay. Videotape is okay. And DNA evidence is okay. Hopefully we get the killer of Sancho, Xavier Sierra. He didn't deserve to die. He didn't deserve to die before he got to 20 fucking years of age. He didn't deserve to die. He deserved to have a fucking goddamn nice life and a healthy life. He played by the rules. He worked hard. Probably was worried about his fucking homework that night. Oh shit, I gotta do some damn algebra. Worried about fucking damn algebra. Meanwhile, you're living in a fucking war zone. I don't know, maybe get out of the war zone. Fix the fucking streets. Fix the fucking criminalizing streets. And even if you're against the police, Huey Newton, was for justice. So even if you're doing your own thing, establishing justice is eternal. That's eternal law.